WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, 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 everyone. It is Monday, so it must be the Community Bell Show, Monday at 4 o'clock. We're so glad to have you with us again after such a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. It was warm. The parade was great. The Lions almost won, and it's heartbreaking that only lost by a point, so that gives us hope. Michigan beat Ohio State. So we had all sorts of things to be happy about this weekend, in addition to being blessed that we were able to see another Thanksgiving with our loved one. We are just real happy to have all of you with us this wonderful Monday after Thanksgiving, last Monday in November. So welcome to the Community Bell Show. As always, the fourth Monday is the Sheriff's Monday. Sheriff of Wayne County, Raphael Washington. We are so pleased that he has chosen to be with us once a month to update us on what goes on in Wayne County Sheriff's Department. And we're just glad to have him and blessed that we have a sheriff like this who communicates with everyone, who wants to tell it all. So nothing is hidden. He tells everything. He tells us just like it is.
Right.
And then he has with him a very special guest. Speaking of telling it all, the communications director, Mr. Edward Foxworth III. Welcome, Edward, to the show.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thanks. Sheriff, how was your holiday weekend?
It was wonderful. It was, and when I tell you it was wonderful, it really was wonderful. Had a great holiday weekend. Had a chance to visit with a lot of family members, and had a chance even Sunday to wrap it up with my grandkids and my oldest son and his wife at the Universal Circus. And so it was a great weekend, holiday weekend for sure.
You can't beat it. And the Universal Circus is really a great piece of entertainment. My daughter and I went a couple of weeks ago, and little known history is I brought the Universal Soul Circus here for the first time. And you may remember Ray Solomon, who was my chief of staff as a county commissioner, knew Ricky, who is the president and owner of the Universal Circus, brought him to my office. We talked. Ricky flew me to Atlanta to see the circus. I went down there to see the circus, to see just what they were talking about, and said, oh, yeah, we need this in Detroit. And so, therefore, we had the first one in Detroit. I was the ringmaster for the first one.
There you go. And you know what? If I'm not mistaken, that was right about 1994, because I was working with the Detroit Police Department, and I was working in the traffic enforcement, the motorcycle unit, and all. And I remember bringing them in.
Yes.
Inaugural Universal Circus here in Detroit. So yes, I was a part of that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm just so pleased to see it's still going on, and it's such a fun time, and it's I think it's almost more an adult circus than it is a little kid circus.
Trust me, I think I have more fun. My wife had to tell me, calm down. You acting like a kid. I was having a great time.
I'm telling you, so did I. Had a great time. So we're just happy that we had such a great weekend here in Detroit. The Thanksgiving parade downtown Detroit was a great time. The tree lighting ceremony the week before that was a great time. So we're just blessed. And as you drive through downtown now, it's wonderful. You can hardly get through. I remember when I could go from one side to the other in less than 5 minutes.
That's true. They had the, even on Monday, the week of Thanksgiving, that past Monday, they had the Detroit Glow over there at the MGM. That was very nice. I was chosen as one of the carvers. And so
I saw
first
that.
time I ever carved a turkey. Didn't know what I was doing, but I had some good help. And that's always a great event. So it was just a good week. It really was.
It was a great week. So I'm just real pleased to have been a part of all of the excitement and the good things going on in Detroit. Introduce your guest today.
So I have Edward Foxworth III here. Edward has been with us probably for a couple of weeks now, a few weeks or so, a couple of weeks, and brought him in. We had to change our communications director. Sometimes it takes a minute to get that fit just right. For organizations who bring in communications directors, and we finally got to one that I know was the right pick and is going to be a good fit, and he's excited about being here, and we're excited about having him.
Wonderful. Well, welcome at Mr. Foxworth.
Either way is fine. I often get that question whether I should call you Edward, Mr. Foxworth. I said, just don't call me late for dinner.
Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. So just what are the responsibilities of the communications director for the Wayne County Sheriff's Department?
All in all, really putting a good face on everything that we do, and making sure people that they find out that, that our Wayne County Sheriff was selected as Man of the Year for Native Detroiter over the weekend. We get a chance to find, we need to let people know that we're out and we're doing some very good things, whether he is spending the night out in the cold to bring heightened awareness and funds to, homelessness amongst young people, for organizations like Covenant House, all the way through throughout the year. All of the things we gave out more than 1,400 turkeys in 2 different locations this past Thanksgiving, and just really making sure that people get a good, full understanding about the Wayne County Sheriff's Office and what the dedicated deputies and officers are doing, as well as the staff people, to make sure that whether it's from the jails to dispatch to our internal staff, that we're sharing all the good news about what we do in order to keep people in the 43 cities in Wayne County, really recognizing what we do here.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I do know that he gave out turkeys at the corner of Joy Road and Greenfield.
That's right.
Yeah, along with our commission president. I think you're very familiar with her.
I know her a little bit. As a matter of fact, I was going to come and help you guys, but it was too cold. I help out, but that one was a little bit chilly that morning.
Commissioner Chair was out there. Alicia Bell was representing you well.
Yes,
she always does. And she was out there with the Lynx, I believe it was.
Jack and Jill. It was Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill. I keep getting those confused.
Yeah.
Jack and Jill. Out there with Jack and Jill, and they were out there in full numbers, giving some of the fixings away as well, and to go with the turkey. And yeah, I totally forgot it. It seems like
you do so much. It's hard for you to keep up with where you are. And I would say every time I look up, he's someplace else. How is he getting to all these places?
We are involved with everything community, and as you know how that goes. And to whom much is given, much is required, and we just have to be out. We have to be out there about the people of Wayne County, letting them know who we are and what we're doing, because they're the ones that said 414,207. 8 of them said we want this young man to be the sheriff.
You get the numbers exact.
Oh, yes. I don't play with that. They said it. They said it, and because they said it, I'm going to be about it for sure.
I love it.
Yes.
Can you beat that 414,000?
Yes. 207.8.
I love it.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful. But it's been a good last few weeks. It really has been a good last few weeks, and we're excited about it.
Yes, we are. Ed was out here, and you can ask him anything, but he's out here really jumped in and said, look, let's get this going. Let's put the proper face on. Let's, make sure that we're representing Wayne County and letting them know. Because as I always say, 43 cities and counties, 43 cities and townships in Wayne County, they all have their own police department.
Yes.
So the other police departments get to be out there because they're answering 911 calls, and they're out here on the news quite often, unfortunately, for some bad things, some good things. And, we as Wayne County Sheriff, we assist all of those townships and cities, but we don't answer 911 calls.
Yeah.
So we have to let the people know that we're out here. And we do that by going to various meetings and partnering with those police agencies that in the various cities in Wayne County, and letting them know that we're here for them to assist, because all law enforcement agencies are short right now.
Yes.
And if we can go out and assist them, that they may have some festival things that go on in the community during this holiday season. And even though they may not be larger police departments, if you have a 30-member police department and you're 3 short, you're suffering.
Short. Yeah, you're
so they call on us to help them with various activities, and we're glad to do that.
And let me ask you on that point, Sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
if something is going on in one of those 43 municipalities,
Mm-hmm.
And they need assistance in terms of policing,
Yes.
they have to call you for you to come in. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. We and he will even go outside of Wayne County if we need to. When Oxford happened, we were available to go out there if they needed us in Oakland County to assist with various things. We also have assisted in various things that go on in River Rouge, and whether it's Romulus or whether it's Belleville and these places, they call us and we come. We
you said that sometimes people look at some of the things that are going on and they say, well, why isn't the Wayne County Sheriff's Department coming?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they can't come unless you call. Unless they call. You can't go unless they call you.
You call us and we'll come, and we're often called. We're called, our Marine unit is called quite a bit to go help various municipalities and cities with recovering or rescuing those that may have gone into the rivers and lakes in their areas. And we have equipment, state-of-the-art equipment that could help in those situations. They call us often for those type of situations. Unfortunately, some are rescue and some, fortunately, are recovery. But we're there for them, and they know that. We always have to get that word out, because we don't just want to be sitting back doing the things that we do, the mandated things that we have to do, which is our safety and security of our county ports, our county courts, parks, and jails. Mm-hmm. We have to do that, but we do it all. We do everything else that any other police agency does in our county. If they call on us, we're there to help.
And that's, I think, what's so important for people to know. The sheriff is kind of the backup. they're the people who say, I've got your back.
Got your back. And they know that as well. And a lot of them use us, whether it's for fireworks or things like that during that time of season, or now that we're in the holiday season for that. Northfield Township called on us a lot. So we're out here, and they know, and we're just going to continue to serve the public and let them know that.
Now, let me ask you about the youth detention facility.
Yes.
It was moved from the downtown location to Dickinson.
Yes.
Talk about how we are doing with that facility, because I know we were shorthanded and we had a few issues going on. How are they doing now?
So they're doing well now, as far as I know, and I'm checking on it often. We moved them out of JDF, and that's in the juvenile detention facility is under the direction and supervision, really, of the county exec's office.
Yes.
But, we partner with them as well. And I
want to say that because people don't know that. They think that it's the sheriff's office. They don't know that that's the county executive piece.
County executive runs that office, but what happened, like everybody else, they're short as well, and they were trying to manage a population that had expanded over in the JDF, juvenile detention facility, where we could move them over to the Hamtramck jail, which we weren't really housing anybody over. It was still operating the jail, but not as a housing portion of custody. So we were able to put them in maybe 1 or 2 wards versus 10 wards over JDF and not have the manpower to do it. Follow me?
Yeah.
So we put them over in hours where a ward could hold 45, 50 people. And you can use that manpower, 2 or 3 officers to can manage that ward, and maybe even another one if you need it. And now you're covering the entire population of the juvenile detention population in 1 or 2 wards.
Exactly.
We moved them over there and make them work.
Let's talk about one of my other favorite subjects, the new jail. How's it coming along?
So glad you asked. We can't get in there fast enough.
I know.
My communications director was on the phone early this morning with news media, and he can tell you about it, that we're calling because, as usual, in the wintertime, over the last few winters, we started to crank the heat up, and it doesn't work. And it's doing our resident population a disservice, because they should be taken care of the proper way by being warm in that facility. And we insist that we find a way to make that happen, even when the heat doesn't want to come on. And you know often that you're home, when you haven't had the heat on all winter, as soon as that coldest day of the winter, come on and something go wrong with that furnace. You know what I'm saying? And so these things happen. And Ed, I believe they called you this morning, and Chief Dunlap was on it. Tell us what happened with that.
That's right. Actually, they've been calling all day. Well, we had news this morning. We had 3 press this afternoon. They just nonstop. And what happened on top of that is some people started putting some notifications on social media, and that's how they picked up on it. Is that you talk to someone, they get a chance to call their family members, and they complain, and then that person goes sits in front of their computer and starts typing the problem up as they heard it, and then it just snowballs. And so Chief Dunlap was over there early this morning at 6 o'clock. We got building and trades out there, and they're taking a look at it and trying to see where the problem lies. And of course the media wants to know all kinds of things, from whether or not we can transfer them, whether we're going to get it fixed tonight, whether this is an ongoing problem or a one-off, and so it's up to us to be able to try to look at our contingency plan and put, as the sheriff said, the best plan in place so that they are treated in the best and most humane way.
Absolutely. So is the heat on now, or is it going to be on at some point in time?
We're hoping so. The assessment is still being made and finalized, and it could, like I said to one of the reporters today, I said it could be as simple as, once they find out what the problem, somebody may need to hop in their car and drive out to Home Depot and go grab a small part, come back, put it in, and we're ready to go. I think it's much bigger than that. But again, they are on top of it and definitely looking to put a contingency plan in place should it not be able to be fixed.
We give them extra blankets, or how do we handle that?
That is our contingency plan. We definitely give them extra blankets. We have extra blankets. We have means of how to get extra blankets. And so no one will be in there suffering because they're freezing cold tonight. That will not happen. We will make sure that they have additional blankets, that they will be able to sleep comfortably. And at the same time, we will be working on other means of getting that heat going, so that if we've been here before, it's not nothing we're trying to figure out. We're going to get it done, figure out what it is this time that's keeping the heat lower, because the heat was fluctuated in various parts of the jail. I talked to Chief Dunlap, who runs our courts and jails, and he said it was anywhere between 55 degrees and 75 degrees, depends on where you were in the building. So just trying to get it all together, but it's not like there's nothing going on in there heat-wise. Just depends on where you are, and those that are not getting it the proper way, we're going to make sure they have additional blankets.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So, audience, you heard that. Stop calling the sheriff. We're working on it. Leave it alone. Let it work on it.
We're working on it. We want to make sure your loved ones are.
Your audio went out. You went unmuted. Nope, we can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I said we're going to be making sure that they have additional blankets, and we're going to be making sure that they have all the things they need if we don't get it going back. But I'm sure that we will. We've been here before. Yeah. We're going to make sure that they are safe and secure, heating wise, just like we will want to see happen if we were our loved ones were in that position.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now the new jail. When are we going to open?
So we're still looking at somewhere around the first quarter, maybe shortly into the second quarter, right around May or so. We're hearing from the construction people that we should be in there sometime around there. All the inspections are taking place, tightening up a few more things. Hopefully we have a good winter where we can get in there and finish up the work. Most of the work is on the inside now. Okay. And so we're getting that done, moving along, and we're trying to, the guesstimated time is around May or so. As construction goes, you have cost overruns and overruns with things that, we forgot about this, or this showed up. And, I'm saying, look, let's just get it done so we can get in there. We cannot get out of these old antiquated jails fast enough.
I know. And so, Edward, you're going to have quite a job come spring, announcing all of the things that are going to be going on at the jail.
Yeah, but these are good things to be announcing too.
Yes.
And so I'm excited about it, to be able to think that, as the sheriff was talking earlier about consolidating and how, you can move things and be a lot more efficient. This is another one of those instances where I think from the headquarters moving over there to the jails, being able to announce that to the public and how we can better serve them, and how, again, inmates that find themselves there can be in a place that is much better off than this 90-year-old building that we currently have.
Yes.
And experiencing the kind of challenges. So yes, I'm excited about that time. And the sheriff has said it plenty of times, we can't get in there fast enough.
Yes.
And the sooner we do, the more good news people will hear.
Absolutely. And it seems, Sheriff, you might want to just think about having celebrations in phases just to get people ready,
Get people ready. I like that.
Ready. Guess what, folks? This part is opening on this date, and it's going to be, and so on. So get them ready. Also,
write that down. We might do something that we could continue to update the public or the news media even. Hey, this is where we are.
They don't come to keep asking you about it. You're telling them this is where we are, this is how we're doing, and we're going to have it done. 1, 2, 3. When the courts move in, guess what? The courts are moving in. When the rest of the courts move in, guess what? Here's another announcement. I think that I want to keep you in front. That keeps you out there.
I like what you're saying. We're taking notes. Trust me.
That's right.
You can't beat experience, Ed. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know it.
Was with the commission for many, many years, a long time ago, and I love that advice. That's why I keep her close to me. I tell people I got to hear it. I can't surround myself with everybody my age and been around with me. We all saying the same thing. I need to hear the experience. I mean that. And so we'll look at doing something like that. I like that. I'm excited about being even on the campus with our jails. We operate 3 jails.
Yeah.
And the administration building here is and we're away from all 3 of them.
Yes.
I'm happy to be on the campus of where everything will be. Now, my staff might not be.
They might not be as happy.
I'm going to be in their jail cell. I'm going to be in their ward. I'm going to be there. So they might not be that happy about that, but they might not know when I'm going to show up. But
that's smart.
I'll be walking the floors of the jails one more time. I love it.
They'll learn to love it.
Yeah.
They will learn to love it.
They will.
Yes.
Sure.
I think that is just going to be so great.
Yes.
To be able to provide that kind of facility for the people of Wayne County.
Yes.
Long overdue for a facility like that. And I'm just excited about all the possibilities it can be. And not just that, because where it's located, it's kind of in the middle of the city.
Yes.
And that, in itself is going to be a great opportunity, not just for those people who work there, but to bring hopefully young people in to say, this is what happens in a jail. This is where you don't want to be.
Absolutely.
There are some jobs here that you might want to have, and you will want to. So there's just all sorts of possibilities.
There's a lot of possibilities, especially with the Third Circuit Court being on the facility.
Yes.
With the prosecutor's office being on the facility, the juvenile detention portion on the facility. We're just all right there. And as I always say, as I was campaigning, I say it every day, we're stronger together. We're all going to be right there together.
Absolutely.
So I think it's going to work for sure.
It makes such a difference. Such a difference. Are you going to do the Citizens Academy again?
Yes. So I was telling Ed when he came in about the Citizens Academy and how successful it was and how we're looking to really get involved in that again. We're going to move toward that in the spring or summer of next year. People have been asking. I'm sure they've been asking you all. Ed, Commissioner Bell, former Commissioner Bell, Ms. Edna Bell was one of our inaugural members of Wayne County, our
Citizens Academy.
Citizens Academy. And so she jumped on it. She wanted to be one of the first ones in that, and she was. And now we asked the community leaders who were there to go out and recruit some in the community who we may not know who are involved in the community to come on and join our Citizens Academy as well. So we're definitely going to do it and looking forward to it.
Yeah, that was such a great experience. And, of course, the Marine unit was one of my favorites. So
Yes. Did you all get a chance to go out on the boat, or was the weather still?
We did not get a chance to go out, but we were in the big truck, whatever that is.
Yes, the command post, yes.
Yes, and saw all of it.
I don't know why that didn't happen. We're going to look at seeing. Obviously, it depends on the time of year.
Yeah, time of year I think had something. The weather was not as great on the day that we were scheduled. We scheduled that event, but I love the Marine unit, and the other one is the K9 unit.
Yes.
And the Special Forces or whatever.
Our special response team, our SWAT team.
Motorcycles. I've got a picture of me on a motorcycle.
I need the motorcycles are near and dear to me. I did that for 14 years of my 25 years in Detroit Police Department, and it's a great job. The motorcycle unit is very, very prestigious. They call on us for the good top-notch things. As a matter of fact, we've got to go to Saginaw tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to take the motorcycles or cars to assist. I guess the president's coming to town.
Oh, okay.
And another thing where they're going to Saginaw, manpower may not be what it is. State police need some help. They called the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
How about that?
Come out to Saginaw and help us out here. So we're sending about 3 vehicles or motorcycles out there tomorrow as well.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
That will be just great. And the Citizens Academy is one of those things that, I think ought to be a lot more publicized.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be helpful.
There's a chain reaction that happens whenever you have ambassadors, people who can take the message from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office and back to communities, back to the churches, back to the households, and be able to share it with other people. It's extremely powerful. And so when you think about a Citizens Academy, when I think about a Citizens Academy, I'm excited about it. I had 4 years working as the director of PAL, and so my experience in working under Chief Isaiah McKinnon and Biddy Napoleon at the time allowed me to see what that type of a program was. I'm not as familiar with the sheriff's program, but I know that there's some similarities in it, and so I'm excited to be able to see how we can make it grow and to grow that whole database of names that we can reach out to, especially as we start looking at the challenges that we're facing now with schools, and the gun violence and the bomb threats, and we need eyes and ears of many people that want to be on board as possible.
Absolutely. So I think that would be great. Then one of the other things I was thinking, the Detroit Police and maybe some of the other municipalities, but Detroit being the largest, has regular community relations meetings at their precincts. And it might be neat for sometime the sheriff people to hook up with those meetings for people to know the difference between what the DPD does and what the sheriff does and how they interact. Because I think a lot of times people just don't know and they make assumptions that aren't necessarily true.
That is true. That is true. And that's what we're going to be doing. Getting out into the public, letting them know what we do. They will see us as they've seen us over the last few years, probably more than ever out in the community. They will see us in the community. And they will see that we are out there doing the work of law enforcement officers assisting the police department and giving a look that it's not just Detroit Police Department or it's not just Taylor Police Department. It's them and it's the Wayne County Sheriff's Office together.
Absolutely. And, one thing that's kind of near and dear to my heart, probably only because my oldest grandson just got his driver's license and got a car. And, he's afraid. But that class you ran for young people,
yes,
to know how to react to
police traffic encounters with police officers.
Yes. I think that one needs to be publicized a lot more.
We're going to do that again, and we're going to do that in a bigger way. It didn't get out like we wanted to, and then it was in the summertime, and some of the kids had a hard time getting to the location because their parents may be in school. The targeted age that we were looking for. So we're going to definitely do it again, and because it's important. And like you said, these vehicles, as we just saw out in one of the communities, Lincoln Park or somewhere, where about 3 or 4 kids were killed and 2 or several injured, just young 14-year-old. Can't even be driving a car by yourself at 14 years old. And get a hold of cars, and I don't know how that whole thing happened. It was tragic.
Yes.
On all ends, and I'm not here to get into the why that happened. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have to do is deter and talk to our young people about driving a vehicle, which could be your death sentence if you're not careful enough and not doing what it is that you're supposed to do when you have the privilege to drive. Because oftentimes people don't understand that driving is not your right.
Exactly.
It's a privilege. And if you're going to be want to participate in that privilege, you're going to have to do it the right way.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's what we talked about. And fortunately enough, unfortunately it didn't happen anyways, but it wasn't any of the children that we had a chance to talk to. And hopefully we get a hold to some more children and it won't happen to them as well.
Absolutely. Question.
Mm-hmm.
I was just told this weekend that young people, or not just young people, but anyone can pass the driver's test at the Secretary of State's office and get a license without having gone to a training class. Is that true?
I've never heard of that. I don't believe that's true at all.
Okay.
You're talking about for driving?
Yeah, to driver's license. I thought that can't you.
No, I've never heard of that.
I'm old enough to go back to when we had driver's ed in high school.
High school, yes, we did too. We had the dark cars, the Plymouth darts, and those things that we learned. Yes. But no, I don't believe that would be true at all, because there's some state mandated things that has to happen through driving and passing the test. I just recently, as probably over the last 5 years, I have maybe even a little longer than that. I have actually trained some of my younger cousins who are now in college and seniors. So I know it had to go back over some time when I've been doing that, helping them learn how to parallel park and all those things, because they have to go pass a test and then take that test results to the Secretary of State.
Yes.
I just did it. I got a cousin just graduated from UOD. He's a senior in U of M now, and that was when he was 16. So that goes back 5 years ago easily, So yeah, you still have to do that.
I'm so glad to hear that, because my grandson had to go through all sorts of classes and training, practice driving. And I thought, well, that doesn't make sense if you just go to the Secretary of State's office because you can pass a test, you get a driver's license.
Not at all. Not at all. You have to learn how to parallel park. You have to learn how to stop within a certain amount of distance. It's you have to someone still riding with you to
have a certain
what you're doing.
Driving and with somebody with them and all sorts of things going on. So
don't worry about that.
Just
pray every day over these kids, because oftentimes it could be, as much as we teach our kids how they should drive, they have to watch out for the other driver all the time.
Yeah.
You have to drive defensively.
Yes.
People will do all kinds of things. And believe it or not, I mean, it really talking about driving. I was on my way to work today, and I'm already doing 75 miles an hour or something. This guy came flying by me, probably at 90, almost 100 miles an hour. Do you know, I just lost it. I just put on my lights and sirens. I put on my police. I went and tracked him down, like, pull over. I got a ticket book on me, but I gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? And I had to let him understand. And he was saying, I'm a doctor. I'm headed to Windsor. I got an emergency caller. I said, you're going to kill yourself trying to help somebody else, or you're going to kill somebody else while you're on the way to the hospital trying to help somebody else. You'll slow this vehicle down and do the speed limit on the way to try to save somebody's life, because you will not hurt somebody out here at 90 miles, or almost, it had to be almost 100 miles an hour.
Jeez.
So it's just so funny. I had to go into action. I put my whole hat on from the day. But I wasn't having it because it's too dangerous.
It absolutely is. And you just never know when somebody crazy is going to go zooming by you. It's going to happen.
You don't know. You never know. So yeah. So
You,
don't worry about that. Just pray over those kids and before they leave every day, and just pray the Lord bring them home safely.
That's all we can do. We can
get through that. Trust me.
Continue to pray. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Ed, are you looking forward to your time as the Director of Communications for Wayne County Sheriff's Department?
I really am. I mean, you all have been talking about all the wonderful things that the Wayne County Sheriff's Office does. I'm excited to be here. I think my experience over the years has prepared me for it. I was recently over at the Charles H. Wright Museum doing the very same thing, internationally recognized institution here in Detroit. And, the fun times that I've had with the Detroit Police Department as the director of PAL, have all prepared me to be, right here in this role, being able to help the sheriff and all of the staff to do the job that they are so well prepared to do themselves. The one that I'm really excited about is hearing how many young people are deciding to heed their recruitment effort that the sheriff has in deciding to become a Wayne County Sheriff Officer. And so I think that for me, when people decide that they want to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem, we hear all the concerns about our young people that, as the sheriff was alluding to, and I think that that's our future, as the old cliche goes. And really excited about being in this role and seeing the community events, seeing what's happening with the new jail, talking about all the community events. We've got the Santa on Patrol coming up real soon, in which I know the sheriff is excited about.
Very excited.
It never stops. Yeah, it's fun stuff to be here.
Great. That's good.
We're going to be pulling them over now, but we're not going to be giving them tickets. We're going to be giving them $200 or so plus gift certificates.
Oh, pull me over.
You know what? That went out on the news and everybody was calling my phone saying, "Hey, where you going to be? I want you to pull me over."
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's coming up on December 12th, as a matter of fact.
Yep. And the community partnerships are just, unbelievable. I mean, as we talked about the turkey giveaway and we looked at CNS Healthcare, we turn right back around and then we see, all of the other organizations that we can partner with in the community. I think those are wonderful things that you get business interacting with law enforcement, and it becomes a very, it becomes a family, a big unit that everybody understands that law enforcement doesn't have to be seen as a negative, as a bad thing. They're joining up, they're partnering up, they're helping us to deliver all of these fantastic efforts in the community, and everybody wins.
Absolutely, absolutely. And lastly, and I don't think I've talked to you about this before, Sheriff, but NOPCO is the National Organization of Black County Officials. So
talk to your daughter about that.
All of your folks ought to be members of that because it's a great organization, and there really are between 5,000 and 6,000 Black county officials across the country. And I had the pleasure of serving as their president back in the 90s. And my daughter was their president in the 2000s. So, but it's a great organization, a great networking group to talk about the kinds of things that work in other municipalities as Black county officials. So
I was wondering if there was a component for that for even law enforcement in that organization as well. But I think it's something we're going to look at for sure.
That would be great.
It doesn't necessarily be me. It could be even, like I said, my communications director, or it could be
your folks could be members of that and be involved because they do have a public safety committee that I chaired as a county commissioner of the National Association of Counties.
Yes.
And that was a great vehicle to learn what other counties were doing in terms of public safety and also to share with them what we were doing.
Okay. We'll definitely look into that. Give me that acronym again. What is it?
NOPCO.
Yeah, write that down for me. Will you? NOPCO.
National Organization of Black County Officials.
National Organization of Black County Officials.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, we're going to look into that. I did ask about that, and I'm definitely going to look into how, those things, because I go to those conferences that benefit us as law enforcement all the time and bring back things that help us move our agency forward. For sure.
Absolutely. 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 Well, thank you so much, Sheriff. Thank you, Edward Foxworth III.
You're very welcome.
Communications. I'm so glad to have you on the show. So glad to meet you. Glad you're with the county. We need great professionals to continue our county to serve the people of Wayne County. Sheriff, thank you for the last year being every fourth Monday, Sheriff's Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you for having done this for the whole year. I appreciate it so much.
We may be moving to quarterly, I understand now.
I wanted to talk to you about that to see if that works for you. I know, the monthly has been a bit much, and I appreciate your having done it. But I think we still want to have you. I still want to have updates from the county sheriff's department.
You can't get rid of me now. I'm going to be here. So no, quarterly would be fine. We do a newsletter that we're doing quarterly, and those things we'll talk about what we've done over the few months that leading up to the quarter, the time, and we do the same thing with you as well.
That would be great. Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed holiday season.
Do the same.
New year. I look forward to seeing you in the coming year.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
You're going to hear something from me. I'm having they're giving me an investiture that we're going to do January 18th at my church, at Greater Grace Temple Church. You'll get an invitation. I want you to be there.
I'll definitely be there. Definitely be there.
Right.
Thank you so much. And as we end our show with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, as always, everyone cannot be famous, but everyone can be great. It simply takes a heart full of love and a soul full of grace and kindness. Thank you, everyone. See you next Monday on the Community.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You as well.
All right.
Hey, are you in need of a jingle, a commercial, or have you considered a podcast for your business or ministry? If so, let WVTC Radio Detroit be your choice. And guess what? Location is not a problem. We can pick you up and broadcast you from anywhere. For more information, please go to our website at WVTCDetroit.com or drop us an email at WVTCRadioDetroit@gmail.com. We're waiting to hear from you.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
Opportunity is knocking at your door. It's WVTC Detroit. And if you're reliable, dependable, a fast learner, and you're ready to work in a fast-paced environment, we have something just for you. Part-time board operator, and we will train. You must have your own transportation and be flexible. Only serious inquiries, please. Send your email to WVTCDetroitLWhitfield@gmail.com. We are waiting to hear from you.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the